Hello everybody, Unitarian and friends, people from Doncaster and maybe from somewhere else. This time we filming at the actual church, and I will light our chalice candle so that we have the marker from our day-to-day living to get ourselves into a more worship stroke reflection mode. I have no actual fixed title, but I just call it from the heart. Because I will send out a picture of a heart drawn into the sand with next week's circulars, and it brought all sorts of reflections to my mind on the subject of the heart. One being the fact that we universally, recognize this two-dimensional shape of a heart. But if we probably would want to draw a real heart, it would more look like a boulder or a slightly awkwardly shaped pebble rather than that. But everybody in the world will recognize this as a symbol. And everybody worldwide will also see the heart not only as a biological organ, but somewhere where our feelings sit, where our soul sits. The heart has always been so much more. We finish our letters with heartfelt greetings, or we say we are sorry from all our heart. How often do we actually mean that? How often do I mean that? Since I'm normally avoiding to say something which I don't mean, I hope whenever I have used heart in my either written or spoken language, I did mean it. But it is a bit overused. Has anything changed in this new normal, new not normal again? What I've noticed since I'm an ardent YouTuber, i.e. I watch probably far too much of the stuff, and since I had to self-isolate, I also watch quite profane stuff on YouTube, is that people who run regular vlogs and columns actually always start with, I hope you are well. And quite a few of them, I absolutely think mean it. I hope you are well. Suddenly, that just gets us into another dimension. And that is probably one of the good things. We are learning, and I deliberately have chosen the continuous tense, we are learning at the moment, to wish other people well, to wish them well from all our heart. In The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, there is a wonderful phrase that you only see well with the heart. I had to do The Little Prince actually as set text for French A-level. Don't worry, I don't remember that much actually from doing it at school, but I've gone back to the book over all my life, and I think it's one of the real gems of wisdom. And yes, seeing with the heart is something we have to learn. And seeing with the heart is a metaphor for so many things. for acceptance, for lived tolerance, for seeing what other people don't see, and nobody said it was easy because we are in November, and November is a day, not a day, a month, excuse for that. It's a month where we do have a lot of days remembering the dead, depending in what culture we are in. It is also when we commemorate somebody that we sometimes wonder what we have missed. It is sad if we only realize what a person was all about by the time that doesn't help the person. And I think the only way out of that sadness is try to do better next time. I know, it sounds teacherish. It is teacherish. I am a teacher, after all. But it is nevertheless what I try to do. And I have recently discovered a book which I bought years ago by Kathleen McTeague, and I have used some of her material beforehand. She's American, Unitarian Universalist, and she has written something which I think is absolutely wonderful. It's entitled Who Knows You? Some of the old New England graveyards are serene little pockets of neglect. Their slate tombstones lean at odd angles, and the elegant calligraphy is barely legible, spelling out obscure colonial names like Orias and Zebulon. Some of the inscriptions that can still be deciphered tell poignant stories of sons and husbands fallen in long ago wars and young wives lost in childbirth. Clusters of brick-sized stones mark the death of children in some catastrophic winter. The engraved cries of lament, "Farewell, beloved daughter," evoke a tug of grief even now, though the people named have been dust and earth for 200 years or more. One of these graveyards in my town evokes a sadness of a different sort, held in the inscription on a modern tombstone marking the resting place of Franklin E. Bailey. He was born in 1909 and buried in 1988, so he lived a long time. His epitaph says simply, "Here lies a man that nobody really knew." What a strange message to leave echoing down through the years, and what a freight of sadness is held in that short phrase. It tells of isolation, loneliness, a life lived invisibly, a voice unheard. Here lies a man that nobody really knew. Who knows you? We each move through the world, caught within the bubble of our own mind, circling around each other like small planets on which each of us is the only citizen. Spiritual practices are meant to turn us directly into that inner landscape so we can know it well and without illusion. But their larger purpose is to show its pathways to one another, because with practice we come to know a bedrock truth of this human life, however different each inner landscape is from the others. The same winds blow through all of us. They are the winds of longing and fear, doubt, hope and regret. No one is exempt. That simple recognition opens a deep well of compassion, both for our own struggles and for those taking place behind all the faces that surround us. I wonder about Franklin Bailey every time I take a walk through that little graveyard. I also wonder about the Franklin Baileys who walk among us, who today is living a life of unremitting loneliness in our town, in my neighborhood, perhaps even in my own family. Before it comes time for a sad epitaph, summing up the isolation, perhaps we can extend a bridge of compassion, allowing them to feel seen, heard, and touched, to be known a little in the brief common walk of our lives. So the message is clear. Don't create any more Franklin Baileys than necessary. That is what I think Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, with his little prince, who actually had a planet all to himself, means with seeing with the heart. It is good for us to see with the heart. It is good for us to try, even if we will fail. Because just as no success is ever complete, no failure is ever complete. Each time we get a little bit better at it. So let's try to see more with the heart, with this simple symbol in the middle of our chest, which we can, even if we are not gifted, draw so easily on paper, in the sand, on